You guys ready for your next comedian? This guy's actually funny. That joke I just told was not funny. That's cool. All right, so drum roll with your feet. Drum roll with your feet. This next comedian, just one word describes him. Awesome. Kenny Byerly, please. Get it up.
I don't normally do this, but these things are hard to remember. Thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for coming and supporting live comedy. This is great. I know it's not easy. I know it's not cheap. It always feels like a ripoff when parking costs more than your car. Sometimes you want to just like, fuck it, it's not worth it. I'll buy something new tomorrow, just leave it. Trojan seems like a funny brand name for a condom, doesn't it? To name your condom after the Trojans. Here's a people whose biggest claim to fame is letting something in because they thought it was safe. It turns out not to be. There you go, you lose. Yeah, perfect. That's the brand image we want for our condom. Slap that right on there. Trojan warrior. Trust, reliability, gullibility. People want that in their vagina. You know those signs in parks that say, no dogs allowed, except seeing eye dogs? Shouldn't it just say, no dogs allowed? My favorite thing about tornadoes is the way the tip curls when you end the swirl just right. No, wait, I'm thinking of soft serve. The thing I like about tornadoes is that they killed my grandma. No one noticed. I tried going to a gentleman's club recently. I was disappointed. I expected to be surrounded by gentlemen. But those guys were just a bunch of sleazebags. If you're ever hideously burned and horribly disfigured, I think the best thing you can do is pick out a really distinctive mask. Something classy like the Phantom of the Opera. Because then when people see you, instead of thinking, oh, gross, they'll be like, wow, that's a really awesome mask. I think a good slogan for Carl's Jr. would be, fuck health. The Western Bacon Double $6 Pastrami Burger. Fuck health. They say when you're buying a car, the key to negotiation is to do your research on the car. I think an even better strategy is to do your research on the car salesman. Here's the manufacturer's suggested price. Here's our dealer's markup. Yeah. Here's a picture of your family taken with a telephoto lens. Let's make a deal. Guarantee you'll get a good price. And arrested. I started working again recently. It's very exciting. Having a job. Sometimes, the only thing that sucks about it is it takes all day. What the hell? That's retarded. Well, sometimes even, I'm temping actually, and sometimes I even have to wear a tie, which really sucks. I don't know where that tradition came from, but I think the idea is that a tie symbolizes how if you have to wear a tie, you want to hang yourself. Next time you have to buy a gift for a friend, I recommend a bread box. But first, make them guess what it is. Let's talk about me. You're probably wondering about me. You're probably wondering, what is this man's ethnicity? Well, I'll tell you. I'm what some people call Hapa, which means, thank you, I am half Asian and half, regular. So growing up, I had a lot of different cultural influences pushing and pulling me in different directions. For instance, my parents were always fighting over whether to whip me with a leather belt or a traditional bamboo stick. My mom, who's Chinese, was always pushing me to excel in school, be better than the other kids, and I think that was really good for me. Because when I started kindergarten, I took a test, and I was already watching TV at a 4th grade level. One nice thing about being half Asian is that when I've been drinking, my face only turns half red. The only downside is I spend the rest of the night flipping a coin and trying to figure out how to kill Batman. Comics! Another nice thing about being half Asian is that my penis is only a little bit small.
Okay.
It's great. See, I can make Asian jokes because I am half Asian. Another great thing about being half Asian is that unlike regular Asian guys, I don't get so pissed off about white guys stealing all the hot Asian chicks. Because without white guys stealing Asian chicks, where would I be? I wouldn't have this bit. A lot of people... Excellent. A lot of people have the wrong idea about interracial relationships, though. They have this idea that, people say things like, oh, if only all the races would have sex with each other, there'd be no more racism. But that's not true. Actually, what happens is in an interracial marriage, every argument is racist, because any problem you have with the other person, you blame on their race. That's how I actually learned how the different races feel about each other. That's how I learned that Chinese people are always late and very cheap and disorganized and can't keep the house clean and cook with too much grease. And white people really like yelling at minorities. The one stereotype I hate, though, is the one about Asian people being bad drivers. I don't think that's true. I think Asian people are really awesome drivers. They just don't give a shit. Like, you can really see this, like, if you actually go to China and you see them drive, and it's like a miracle that anybody gets somewhere without dying. But they drive crazy over there. It's like, sometimes in an intersection, they'll all get out of the car, run to a big open area, and wait for further instructions. They call it the American fire drill. You love it. It's true. Oh, but to be fair, my mom actually is a terrible driver, but there's no reason, there's no reason to make a stereotype out of that. I don't think she's a bad driver because she's Asian. I think it's because she's a woman. People really get excited when they find out that my girlfriend is also half Asian, just like me. They're like, oh, wow, that's so cool. She's just like you. Your kids are going to look just like you. That's awesome. It's like I go around to white couples like, oh, wow, that's so cool. You're both white. Your kids are going to look just like you. They're going to be really pale and burn really easily and be really bad at jumping and dancing. It's adorable. But as cool as it is that my kids could share my ethnic ratio, I think it'd be even cooler to have one kid completely white and one kid completely Asian. And I think if we work it just right, we can pull it off. But actually, my girlfriend, she comes from a big family, and she would want to have more than 2 kids. She's used to that kind of household. But the thing is, I kind of feel like it's irresponsible to the planet. It's overpopulation, resources, and so I don't think it's good for people to have more than 2 kids. But I do think I have a solution. Because think about it. There's all these orphans out there. They're completely unwanted. All we have to do is, for every kid we have over 2, we'll kill an orphan. Now, I know that sounds terrible, right? But it's okay for me to say that, actually. And I'm going to tell you why. My grandpa was an orphan, all right? And that makes me a quarter orphan. And on that note, I'm going to leave the stage. Thank you very much. My name's Kenny Byerly. Good night.
Give it up for Kenny. That guy's funny. One more time for Kenny. One more time. That's cool.